How's everybody doing? This is another Tekken 7 Green Ranks walkthrough, basically a Tekken 7 how to get out of Green Ranks video, or at least that's what I try to make these walkthroughs do, give you guys advice and tips and like a mini guide on understanding the character a little bit and then showing you gameplay. Now, this is about Genryu. Obviously you see him on the screen and he's a very interesting character, kind of like a hybrid poke based character. Very strong, which is what's important to a lot of people. And for me, if you're watching this video, he's also very beginner friendly. He's a lot of fun to play. So hopefully you guys learn a lot and you can actually take some of this knowledge and apply and do very well with getting Genryu out of the Green Ranks. Also, I do have a Genryu beginner's guide that's gotten really good feedback. So if you like this, definitely go check that out. All right, first move we're gonna go over is this back 1+2, which is this 10 frame punish. And this is kind of unique compared to other 10 frame punishers. For one, it's a headbutt, so if your opponent is trying to reverse you, in most cases you won't be able to be reversed. Obviously if you're Jin, Leroy, Geese, you have special consideration in those cases. For two, it's not plus on block like a typical jab, so this is, I believe, yeah, it's minus 13 on block. So in certain matchups you could be punished very heavily for this. I like to use this as a 10 frame punish or as a panic move like a get off me. If you land this on counter hit, you do get his follow-up power crush, which is for 3+4. So if you have somebody pressing you against the wall, or you know there's a gap in the string, this is actually a very good move to go for. Unlike just doing the check with a jab, you don't want to abuse this because again, it is minus 13. Now we actually will talk about his jab. His jab is I-12, so very different than most jabs in the game that is I-10. It is +3 on block, +9 on hit, and +11 on counter hit. The fact that this is +3 on block and it comes out in 12 frames is really good for two reasons. For one, that's pretty fast, and for two, very few people are going to assume it has this many plus frames. It's not that it doesn't show any form of block stun or anything like that, so you can carry those plus frames over to a lot of moves and make those moves a lot more efficient. Again, on counter hit it is +11, so you can get a guaranteed back 1+2, which is your 10 frame punish I just talked about. Okay, next key move we're going to talk about is Genryu's down forward 1. And really fast, I do want to say I do have a Genryu beginner's guide, and it's gotten really great feedback, and I've covered things like his down forward 1, his down forward 1 strengths in very good detail, going over strengths and weaknesses. Now, at this point, we're getting to some things that make Genryu a very powerful poke based character. His down forward 1 comes out in I-13, it's -5 on block, +6 on hit, and +6 on counter hit. And yes, off the top of your head, you would say, oh, well, -5, +6, not that great. There are people that have like -2, -1, and have more plus frames, but he has an extension, which is his down forward 1-4, which is mid. And just the fact that he has that extension will give you some mental frames. Believe it or not, take my word for it, people are not going to know when to attack you. Now, down forward 1-4, and then his next extension is down forward 1-4-1. So down forward 1-4 is -13 on block, -2 on hit, -2 on counter hit. So you're not advantageous on hit, but again, he has another extension. Down forward 1-4-1, 1-4-1, yes, that's correct. That is -6 on block, +8 on hit, and +8 on counter hit. So really good frames overall right there. It is a high, so your opponent, if they are aware, they can duck. But if you take into account his jab is +3 on block, if you mix up his jab with his down forward 1 or his down forward 1-4, you're gonna be surprised how much you're locking your opponent down based on just pressure, and you're not even adding a low yet. And now we're about to get into his down forward 3, which is probably one of the best lows in the game, hands down. Now, in my opinion, Genryu's down forward 3 is top 3 best low pokes in the game, period. It's I-16, so nobody can react to this. It has to be a completely hard read. -12 on block. You never have to worry about being launch punished for this. Of course, if you're playing Dragunov by the wall, you need to be careful because I believe Dragunov has a 12 frame while standing wall bound, so that's very scary. +5 S on hit and counter hit. So if you land this on hit, your opponent is +5, but they're also forced into crouch, so they can't move after this. This move has pretty good tracking. It's just a very solid move, and it's very powerful for keeping his poke pressure going. So if you're very strategic with doing his standing jab, which is +3 on block, his down forward 1, and mixing that up with the down forward 1-4 for the mental frame advantage, and his down forward 3, those 3 things in itself, I'm not kidding, you can lock your opponent down in place with just those 3 things alone. A lot of people would just be pissed. I'm serious when they play Genryu if you're strategic with setting these things up. Down forward 2+3 is another load that comes out at I-22. It's -15 on block and gives a knockdown on hit. Now, I-22 is technically considered seeable, but online it's most people, I don't believe, is going to react to this. Offline, it's possible. -15 on block, so it is launch punishable. I do still like to go for this low, particularly because it tech crouches, Whereas down 4-3, for example, doesn't tech crouch. And what I mean by that is that it goes under highs. So if you have somebody doing like a lot of 10 frame moves, this might be a good low to go for. I also like to use this when I have my opponent locked down at the wall. I'm doing like the one with the +3 and then down 4-1 and down 4-3. And then sometimes I'll just go for a down 4-2 +3, because by the wall, it's actually pretty easy a lot of times to get his full crouch down forward 1 +2, which is like a low hitting move that hits grounded. So you basically get like double damage right there. Next key move you're going to see me do from time to time again right here is this down 4, which is a very long range spacing low. I'm showing you right here, backing up a little bit. The range is very good for this move. It is I-21, so again, in most cases online, people aren't going to be able to react to it. -14 on block. You can be launch punch fist on block. -3 on hit, and I'm showing you right here on counter hit. This is a counter hit launcher. So if you're good with your spacing and you land this on counter hit, you're going to get a launch, and that's really good. Next key move we're going to talk about is his 2-1 string, and it's 2-1 to his Thai stance or sumo stance. I'm actually not sure how to pronounce that word, but 2-1 by itself. This is a high natural combo. This is his 12 frame Punisher. It is -3 on block and +8 on hit, and it jails. So your opponent, I'm showing you right here, your opponent actually can't duck the second hit. And what I typically use this for is 2-1 into his sumo stance, and then that is +1 on block and +12 on hit. So very, very good frames going to a sumo stance. The fact that it is I-12 pretty much says that in a lot of cases you're going to be able to land this, whether you interrupt the string or something is -13 or -14 and you don't want to go for the 13 frame Punisher or 14 frame, you actually prefer to go into a stance with plus frames, then I do 2-1 to stance, but you don't see me do that a decent amount as well. The two common moves you're going to see me do out of his Thai stance, a sumo stance, whatever, is his back 1 +2, which is an I-22 low that is -24 on block and knockdown on hit. -24 is definitely launch punishable, but I don't think you can be launched for this. I've never been launched for this, and I know there are some slides in the game that you can pick up from block and actually get a combo off of them. I don't think this is one of them. If I'm wrong, please post that in the comments below. The other thing you'll see me do a lot is his Thai 4-1, which is a mid-high string. It's -9 on block, +10 G on hit, so very good frames on hit, but nothing's guaranteed, and also a tailspin. This is a hit confirmable string, and that's good because Thai 4, the 4 that comes out the mid, that is safe on block, I believe at like -8 or -9. Either way, it is definitely safe on block. And even though the high is -9, it's a high, so you can duck and be launched for it. So practice hit confirming this string. It is not the easiest hit confirmable string, but it is definitely a doable hit confirmable string. It just means that if you practice, you will get it down, and it'll make this string much more effective. And here is a basic combo you may see me go for, but this is definitely not one of the more damaging combos. There are better Genryu combos out there. And again, if I'm being honest, you're mostly going to see me beat people, at least with this walkthrough, with just poking pressure. All right, first match is against a Paul, and if I'm being honest at this point, this is probably my 7th walkthrough. 2 or 3 I didn't upload because they were still season 3. Paul, King, and Kazuya are by far the most popular characters I've come across in the green ranks. So anyway, I'm backing up here. I hit him with the down 2 +3, has a little bit more range as I said before. Caught him with the low there. Now I'm just doing it, putting a little pressure on him by the wall. He did the sway back 4. Now at this point here, I'm just applying poke pressure like I said, and I'm just mixing up the mid poke with the low poke, and the frames are good enough for me to just really keep going right there. So he's down 4-2. I tried to catch him with the 4 1 +2. 4 1 +2 for Genryu is really good with punishers. It's an I-14. So here, I'm noticing that he loves the down 4-2, and rightfully so. Paul's down 4-2 is very good. So I'm trying to actually catch him and whiff punish him with it, but he recovers so fast I was never able to do it, honestly. So now I'm putting a little poke pressure again. I did the jab. His 4-2, Genryu's 4-2 tech crouches, and is also a good poking tool. I thought that, kind of like in that Katarina guide when I was playing games, I actually thought you could interrupt that next kick. I'm going to have to lab that. But I could have sworn you can interrupt that with the I-12 or faster, but it didn't work when I tried it. So anyway, caught him 4-2 on counter hit into the 1 +2 into the stance and then the slide. I tried to catch him with the whiff punish here. Now here again, this is a little risky because Paul has multiple options here, so ducking could be the wrong answer. But since he did sway back 4, I think 2 times before, I just basically went off of his past experiences and kind of like flow chart there, and then the duck and it landed and it worked out. And here again, I'm just applying basic poking pressure to win the match. So I include this next match, which is against a Josies, because somebody in my comments asked me basically how to beat Josies. I figured this would be hopefully a good, helpful experience for them. Josie is one of those characters that just really has a ton of counter hits and just a lot of pressure. So I try to wait for my moments to attack, and once I get them going, then I may actually just keep attacking if I got the pressure going, but she could be tricky. So anyway, let's get into the match. So I caught her with the counter hit sumo 2 there, took her to the wall pressure, and at this point we're just trying to get some poking pressure by the wall. If I got you by the wall with Genryu, I will poke pressure you until there is no tomorrow, until you force me to stop, just because his pokes are so good. I tried to sidestep her left. Josie is weak to sidestep left. A lot of her core moves are weak to the left. That's plus on block, so we don't press buttons there. This down 3-4 is a big no-no with Josie. And then the funny thing is I actually didn't duck it. But part of the reason is because I don't do it anymore, and people I play at the ranks I play against don't do it anymore. So I'm not used to seeing it at all. But if you're in the lower ranks, a lot of Josie players will do down 3-4 and definitely duck that. It's not a natural combo. I have no idea whatsoever why I did that slide from that far away. You just ignore that and continue with the match. So anyway, I got her by the wall, pressuring her by the wall right here. That was actually a bad punish. I don't know why I went for that. But here we go. Poke pressure, back 2-1. Very, very good low parry for her. You can actually fuzzy guard that. I'll talk about that in my Genryu walkthrough as well. And then I just caught her with a down 4-1 right there to actually end the match. So I read that she was going to do something aggressive because she's down. So I caught her with the panic back 1+2 and the follow up on counter hit. So I hit her with the down 4 there, backing up, trying to get a little space here. Now right here is a prime example of what I said in the key moves, where sometimes I would just go for the 2-1 into stance because I want to collect the plus frames, because that is -13. I could have did this down 4 at 1-4 and got better damage. And here I just basically just caught her with the power crush and ended the match. Alright, next match is against a Bob, and I have no clue whatsoever how to play Bob, so I like to include matches with characters I don't know anything about. You saw me start off with the forward 2. I do that a lot because forward 2 is a fast mid poke that is plus on hit, and on counter hit you get guaranteed Oki pressure. It also tech crouches. That being said, it is -12 on block, but in most cases most people can't punish me because of the range. So I do know this about Bob though. I froze it here for a reason, is that he has a hell sweep. And when I play characters that have hell sweeps, I'm always aware that at some point they're going to do the hell sweep. I don't prematurely duck, but just keeping it in the back of my mind keeps me a little bit more ready to react to it. So anyway, he's doing strings. I have no idea what he's doing. So I do the 2-1 into the stance, pressure down forward 3 right there a couple times into the back 2-1. Not even sure how I won that match. I think I just caught him with the panic button back 1+2. All right, so again, forward 2 right there, caught him a couple times into the low poke here, down forward 3 into the back 2-1. Let me clarify why I do this flowchart a decent amount. Is that down 4-3, as I said before, is +5s on hit, and back 2-1. I didn't talk about it in the key moves, but it is a 15 frame like tech crouch natural combo string. I do talk about that in my Genryu guide, and I go into it in very good detail. My point is, +5s makes that comes out in 10 frames, and since it's tech crouch, it's hard for people to deal with. So anyway, blocked the hell sweep right there, caught him and launched him. Genryu does have an I-14 frame launcher, so that's a pretty good thing. It's actually really good. All right, so backing up here, trying to see what he's going to do. Trying to be smart and patient, because again, I don't know the matchup. Use the down 4 for spacing, like I showed you. Got caught with whatever he just did right there. I don't know what it was. He caught me pretty hard. Anyway, beat him with the down 4-1-4 string. All right, so in the last match, I assumed that he was going to be like the Josie, honestly, and just attack really, like prematurely, just attack really hard right there, simply because he was down, but he didn't. So kudos to him for backing up. So right there, down forward 3 again, as you see on hit, right into the back 2-1. Just right here, just poking pressure on him over and over again. Just really just poke pressure and then caught him with the power crush. That power crush is a nice little round ender, because a lot of times people are just upset from all the poke pressure you're putting on them. Honestly, that's really what it is. So they just want to attack you. So sometimes I'll just finish the round with the power crush. I know they're mad and they want to attack me. All right, last match is against a king. I feel like I think I played like 3 kings, 3 Hwoarangs, and 3 laws in this walkthrough, but the laws and Hwoarangs were just laggy, just so annoying, especially because I believe in every case it was a 4 or 5 bar and it was still laggy, so that's always frustrating. Again, guys, I said this before, if you guys have a character you want me to do in a walkthrough, please post in the comments below. All right, so starting off the match, I hit him with the 2-4. That is not a natural combo, but you'd be surprised how many people get hit with it. It's down forward 1+2. I think I said this already. That is hit confirmable. A lot easier than the sumo 4-1 hit confirmable, in my opinion. So into the stance, landing a 3. Then I'm doing basically poke pressure here. His poke pressure is just, again, I said it before, it's not easy to deal with, and he's not a popular character. So I try to be patient and space out and get just to set up once I get on top of my opponent to set up the poke pressure. But once I get it going, I just kind of go ham with it, because there's a lot of mix-up pokes there. All right, so did the 2-4 right there. Let's see, got hit by the low, tried to get him with it, which was not smart because, yeah, I believe he has plus frames, the I-14. So here, I did try to hit from the 4-1 and I messed up, but it still landed the 1, which happens sometimes when you delay, people actually attack a little prematurely. But I paused this to just remind you that this is plus 10G. Very, very good frames on hit. So you can really do a lot of things in that situation, even good space moves like his down 1 or something like that. I chose back 2-1 because it's pretty much uninterruptible with the plus frames, but you have lots of options. So I broke this 2. I broke that 2. He did the same 1-2 to this throw earlier, and I broke it. I should be breaking this because I only should be pressing 1, but I froze here again just to remind you guys that and showing you this is a very common thing that King players like to do in the low ranks, and I did make a guide on how to beat that particular setup. So just definitely check that out. It's in the How to Beat Green Rank guides. I believe it's the recap for, I think it's for Kazumi. Anyway, we're in the final round. Blocked his hop knee, which is minus 13 on block, so did the 2-1 to the stance pressure, and then the power crush, which he broke the right guess, which is a 3-way guess. That is usually, I don't think there's a mix up there. I think that 4-4-2-1 is always a high. I don't play King, but if there is a mix up there, I just don't know what it is. So I ducked with the read. Now here I just read the low, and then I parried him, and then, you know, finished off the match. He could have done the other kick. That was nothing special about that. It was just a hard read, and it was just, you know, the right read. And we have come to the end of this Tekken 7 Genryu Green Ranks walkthrough. If you guys like the content, please consider liking and subscribing. As always, all support is greatly appreciated. If you guys like Tekken, Mortal Kombat, Dead by Daylight content, discussion posts, cool looking pictures, artwork, things like that, consider following me on Instagram. This is Acid Light. You guys take care.